Alright, we're gonna try to quickly get to the moon and back, or the mun, as they say in this game. So I'll give you a little rundown of what this game is all about. Basically, you are running a space program. You are on the planet Kerbal, which is basically Earth. And you got these little scientist guys that run around. And you get all these different parts and stuff, and you build different rockets, and you can build planes and stuff like that. You can experiment with different pieces, build different type of shuttles, and if you get really advanced, you can start building like space stations and moon bases, and there's several different planets and stuff out there that you can go explore, and you can build rovers and all sorts of crap. It's a pretty cool little game, and it's like very physics based, so it's kind of realistic as far as space travel. So what I'm going to try to do today is I have a ship that I built that I was able to successfully land on the moon. This is the ship. So I have these three big orange fuel tanks attached to a smaller rocket, and then this device up here is where the actual guy is. There's a ladder for him to get down. These little legs here are little platform legs that will allow me to land on the moon. So I was able to get this to the moon safely one time out of like 5 attempts. Actually land on the moon, get my guy on there, but the process of getting to the moon, I've ran out of gas a few times. And or fuel, not really gas. So the goal today is to successfully get to the moon, land on the moon, let my guy walk around for a minute or two, and then see if we can get him to come back home. So like I said, all these different parts you can get from these. So here's all your propulsion stuff, different fuel tanks, different types of engines. You have different control options, all your kind of structural things, and a lot of these things you can use to build different type of spacecraft. I'll show you one. I'll just load one up real quick just so you can see some of the other stuff. But you can actually build, and a lot of these guys I've gotten from you can actually go and download people's rockets, or you can upload your own rocket designs to a website and download stuff you want. So if you like, this one's pretty ridiculous. That wasn't the one I wanted. There's one that has an actual craft on it, like a little buggy thing that you can put up on a space. Look at how big this thing is. Ridiculous. Okay, yeah, so you can see this has actual wheels and all that kind of stuff on it, so you can put this out in space and let it drive around and stuff, like leave it on the moon. It's kind of cool. But we are going to just do a simple mission with my small ship that I designed myself. So these two rockets, the outside rockets, fire first. That gets us up into space. This middle rocket we will then launch to get us into orbit, and hopefully into the right path to get to the moon. This small rocket here will be to get us to land safely on the moon, and then the final rocket is for just minor adjustments when we do land on the moon, and then enough fuel to get us back off of the moon and into an orbit where we can land safely. So that's the goal today. Let's do it. So I did stream this a couple months ago. Able to get to the moon 2 times and unfortunately crashed on the landing getting onto the moon. So hopefully today we will have a little bit better luck than that. So full throttle launch. So I have what's called, I don't even know what it's called, it's SAS. It's basically stability control. So as we're launching, you can see over in the bottom left hand side, you can roll your yaw and your pitch, and with SAS enabled, it kind of does that automatically for you and makes sure that your ship stays as steady as it can stay. You can see my engines are overheating just a little bit, so shut down the throttle just a little bit. These are the biggest engines in the game, produce a ton of thrust. And once we get to about 10,000 meters above where we launched, we'll start trying to get a little bit more of an angle and start trying to get into orbit. So we're at about 9,000 meters now, so we should be starting to make our change in direction just a little bit here. Okay, first stage is done. Oh no! Okay, failed launch, ladies and gentlemen. Failed launch. So as when we ejected the others two, somehow it ran into the middle one and knocked the tank off. We're not going to have enough fuel to make it all the way to space. You can see the moon there in the horizon. So I think what we're going to do is just eject all this stuff, launch our parachute, and this guy should successfully land on Earth. We're not going to sit through all that, so we're going to relaunch this. See if we can launch this time. So like I said, get to about 10,000 feet, then we start changing our pitch a little bit to start to get towards an orbit. And then hopefully when we eject these two outside tanks, it doesn't rip off this middle tank. I'm not quite sure why that's happening. Again, I've launched this ship several times without problems. If this doesn't work, what we'll try to do is maybe make these side tanks a little bit different. Just getting closer to our magic number of about 10,000 meters, and we are there, so we're going to tilt just a little bit. Try to keep us from spinning a little bit here. Spinning crazily. See if these guys will fall away a little bit more. There we go. I guess I just had to be a little bit more patient. Get us to about 45. So that was a much better launch. I guess I just had to be a little bit more patient there with the waiting for the side engines to come off. Though I don't remember having to do that before, but maybe something's going on. Okay, so now you can see our angle isn't as steep as it was before, so now we're starting to move this blue line out. So this was, if I hit X right now, that cuts all the engines off, we would go up and then crash down in there. So as this grows, it'll eventually will get bigger than Kerbal, and we'll go into orbit. You can see I have several other objects in orbit right now. So I think what we want to do is flatten this out just a little bit more. As you can tell, I'm fairly new to this game, so still trying to figure it all out. So I need to figure out how to extend this part. So I think what we'll do is we'll do this burn, get us in the right kind of orbit, and then when we're coming back, we might extend out this way on our, like, do a burn here, which will extend our orbit out a little bit farther. So we will get set up. So now we have a maneuver set, which is in 1 minute and 2 seconds. We got to do this burn. So if we look on our little ball down here, there should be a blue part of where we need to aim the ship. There it is. So you can see this blue part here. So this is where we want to aim the nose of our ship when we do the burn. And we're going to burn for about 13 seconds based on this. So 37 seconds, we begin the burn, and we burn for approximately 13 seconds, and it should change our orbit to where the yellow is. So you'll see the blue start to move down and get into that orbit. And then I think once we move around to around this side, we can add a new maneuver to extend our orbit out a little bit past Kerbal, so that we can then get ourselves in position to make a moon landing. So we got 8 seconds before we start the burn. We'll switch over to the... So here we go. We've got a burn here just for about 10 seconds now. And that should, if you look on here, change the orbit just a slight bit. And once we are in position, we hit X to stop the burn, and you can see now that the yellow line matches the blue, so that's exactly where we're going to end up. So what we'll do now is we're going to put a burn in place on this side, see if we can extend out. So you can see now, when you start getting some of these purple, that means you're going to be affected by somebody else's gravity. And what that looks like to me is that the moon, by the time we get to there, is going to be in this position. So the moon's going to affect our gravity on this side. So we should be able to make a moon interception if we do it that way. I think what I want to try to do is maybe move the burn up here a little bit. I think that's too close. Okay, I think we're good here. That still seems very, very close. 6,100 meters above Kerbal. I think that's close enough. So let's do that. We got just a very short burn. But we have wait 12 hours before we can make that burn. Fortunately for us, we can just speed up time. So you can see the spacecraft moving through space now. It's going to follow that blue line because that is our orbit right now. Go through close to where the moon actually would be its orbit, but unfortunately it's not close enough to us to where we can actually get into orbit. It's on the other side of the Earth. I think once I start getting better at this game, then I'll be able to actually know what I'm doing when I get into orbit to put myself in the right position right off the bat. But typically for me, I got to get into orbit, and then I have to start making all these adjustments to actually get into position where I can make a successful interception with the moon. So here we are, we're about 6 minutes out from our estimated burn of about 7 seconds. So we will speed up time just slightly to get that down a little bit. Okay, that didn't work out at all. Why is it? Did it not slow down? Should be okay though. Okay. So we're in a position now where we can at least make a few passes at the moon. So we're gonna speed up some time, I think. Let me check this. 60,000 meters. I think that's high enough to where we won't get into the atmosphere. We're gonna try it out. Okay. I think we're good to go. Let's check the map. Get rid of this. So it looks like we will be landing right there. So we will speed up time just a little bit, get closer, and then we'll make our final approach. This is always the exciting part. I did this time. I think the last time I kept landing on the dark side of the moon, and I didn't have enough lights on the bottom, so it's very difficult to judge when you'll actually make touchdown. Okay, so we're getting close here, so we'll go back to full view, and I think the battery's probably pretty good. 100% charged, so we will retract our solar panels just so they don't break on the way down. You never know. Retract our solar panels. Could probably speed up time just a little bit. Here. We'll use this main engine we got here to slow us down just a bit before we release it, because we might as well save as much fuel as we can for our home trip, because God knows I'm not that good with fuel. So I'm using retrograde here, which is that, like I said, that circle with the axe. That means you're thrusting directly away from the direction you're traveling, which should slow you down. And you can see my orbit is now is going down. It's now under 600 meters a second. To successfully land, you need to be at around 12 meters per second or less. We still have quite a bit of distance to before we get to the moon. Actually, before we get to the where we're actually gonna land on the moon, I should say. Put the gear down, put the lights on. Okay, we're actually going up now, so we need to cut the engine. This is my big problem too, is I'm so nervous about crashing that I'll end up doing a couple different passes. Okay, we're starting to go down again. I think the lights are on, aren't they? Lights on. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, I'm such a fail. Such a fail. So let's see where I last quick saved. I think we're in position where we're, yeah, we're okay. God, I'm such a fail. So you can see that thing pretty much landed right below us, or We can use this to kind of judge. Oh, now we can't. Now it's gone. So difficult to see, like, how much farther we gotta go down. You can tell we're just moving pretty good. 5,000 meters. And then the worst part is, like, are we gonna land on a ridge? So do I have to straighten out the gears and stuff? We're getting close. Of course I went too far. Those lights help a ton though, dude. Still going up. Looks like we're landing on a big hill right here. This might be difficult. This is pretty good though. It's about as good as it gets. For me anyways. It's moving very This is not bad, guys. Look at how soft this landing is gonna be. Oh, no, my leg fell off. Oh no. So close. Freaking leg fell off. I don't think I can stand on these 3 legs. Oh, how long? 15. Alright, we got one more try in us. And then I gotta go. So we will go back to our quick save. God, I'm so close that time. That's unfortunate right there, boys. Check our map. I think I saved it. Okay, so we're okay here. Get back to our map. That was a good attempt, though. That was a very good attempt. I think a lot of that stuff, again, comes with practice. A little bit closer. Good. Let's turn our lights on again. Light on. These lights helped so much. Light on. And give her some gas. We're gonna start slowing down here. I'm still very, very new to this game, guys. Very, very, very new. We will get it eventually. Shoot, man, it took me several hours and probably 30 attempts. Well, maybe not 30, probably 20 attempts before I was able to even get into orbit. So this game is not easy. Yeah, I just got the game maybe a week ago, so very new to it. It's very enjoyable, but it's difficult for new people. For sure. So I got a ways to go before I can get in a position here. We'll just float down a little bit till we get under 20,000 meters. It seems like a far way still. I've watched a few people live stream and they just click a couple buttons first try. They're right in the perfect orbit. I can't do it. Might as well just pop these out, right? They're not going to hurt anything. Except there's no sun, so they're not going to get any juice. Guess it doesn't really matter, huh? Give a little bit more gas now. Feet. 10,000 feet. Let's give it some more gas. Coming in hot, boys. Still ways to go. Okay, so that just hit. So you can kind of see we still have a little bit ways to float down. We're at 5,000 feet. I'm gonna have to make super corrections. Oh, we're just gonna crash. No way. God dang it, it's so hard at nighttime. My guy survived. Alright, boys, I gotta go get some lunch. This guy's gonna be stuck on the moon. Parachute! Parachute! We'll try to give this a go a little bit later tonight. Maybe. Just sliding down this freaking hill. Eject, bro.